Japan, August 1945. The United States drops the first atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Over 300,000 people are killed from the blasts and ensuing radiation sickness. Nichidatsu Fuji, a Japanese Buddhist monk, witnessed this devastation and had a spiritual vision for world peace. Having dedicated his life to the principles of nonviolence, Fuji had prayed alongside Mahatma Gandhi in India in the 1930s. Now, after experiencing his own country destroyed by war, Fuji became even more determined that humanity must renounce all weapons in order to survive. Fuji's vision was to create peace shrines, to awaken a spirit of nonviolence throughout the world. Since the 1950s, the monks and nuns of Nipponzan Myohoji, the Buddhist religious order founded by Fuji in 1919, have constructed over 70 of these shrines in 6 different countries. They are called Peace Pagodas. In 1985, the first Peace Pagoda in North America was inaugurated on a hilltop in rural western Massachusetts. It was built under the direction of the Nipponzan Myohoji monks and nuns, with the participation of over 1,000 U.S. and international volunteers. The New England Peace Pagoda has become a regional center for spiritual reflection and the promotion of a nonviolent peace activism in the tradition of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. This documentary chronicles 2 months in the life of this community during the fall of 1987.
I'm Honey Nessel, and I live at the Peace Pagoda. I am 48 years old and have 3 children, a 25-year-old daughter, a 22-year-old son, and a 13-year-old son. My youngest son lives here with me. The more we came, the more we felt that this was really our family and that this was where we wanted to live, because if we were going to work for peace in a very serious way, that we had to come from a spiritual foundation. The door's open. People can come for a meal. People can pray. There's a sense of caring within the community about each other. Before, I would try to pray by myself, and it was very difficult. It's very different to pray with a community of people and live with that community of people and know that prayer is the most important thing that is in our lives.
All the monks or nuns of Nipponzan Myohoji has a mission to spread Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, the chant we devote to for world peace.
Our whole life is just centered around this prayer.
When each person prays it, they find immeasurable riches there. We do believe it takes us to the heart of Buddha. Each one of us really has a profound and incredibly precious purpose, and we have to feel how precious that is.
One of the things that I noticed, and I've had many Americans make fun of Oriental people when they clasp their hands together and bow, and very few of them really understand what's going on. But those times when people do that, they're acknowledging the spirit in another person, and they're acknowledging the fact that there's a spirit there. Okay, not the body, but the spirit within the body. We believe that the spirit is something that never dies. The spirit always lives.
My name is Jerry Talandis. I'm 23 years old, born and raised in Ithaca, New York. And today is the final preparation day before the ceremony tomorrow. We have all kinds of work going on.
The opportunity to help on this temple has just been a great opportunity in my life. I mean, how many people get a chance to build a temple where all people can come and worship? I've never done construction work before, and here I've done all sorts of things, and it makes me feel very confident.
The days have been really hard, especially lately. We've been working about 13, 14-hour days all week. With every nail I put in the wall, or every batch of stucco that I mix, that the world is that much closer to peace. And this is my contribution. This is my way of working. And combined with the prayer, that my work becomes a prayer for peace. This is my way of contributing.
I'm Reverend Tim McDonald with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, serving as National Director of our special projects. And I'm here today in Leavenworth, Massachusetts, to celebrate the coming into being of the temple associated with the Peace Pagoda here, because of my commitment to world peace and because of my belief that the monks have a very definite message that the world needs to hear. A message that is not only Buddhist, but a message that I think is Christian and Jewish and any kind of people who are deeply concerned about world peace coming together to work and to be one voice. For me personally, it is a place to come for rededication, for rejuvenation, and to receive hope, because as you come here, you see people from all over the world who share the kind of dreams and visions that I have, of a world without nuclear weapons, of a world where people can live together in brotherhood and sisterhood.
became involved in the peace movement through my children, and because of my children. Gaddy here came home from school one day. He was in about 3rd grade and had tears in his eyes and looked at me and said, "Mommy, do you know how many bombs we have? And how will we ever get rid of all these bombs?" And he knew the truth at that moment, that the world was on the brink of complete annihilation. And I knew that he knew, and I felt that at that point I had to devote my life to stopping the bomb from falling on my child. I feel compelled to beat the drum and to pray, and I feel compelled to take risk and say no to the militarism in whatever way I can, in the strongest way I can.
Well, Quonset Point is where they build the nose cones and other little pieces, the missile tubes that go on the Trident II submarines. Those are our first strike weapon that's being equipped with the D5, which is a new, more powerful missile. It's all part of the nuclear armament. They're all weapons that are designed to destroy people, millions of people.
There's a lot of forces against us. I talk to a lot of people and they say, well, it won't do any good. I come up against that all the time with people, where people are feeling so despondent about the arms race and about affecting any change. They're just discouraged. There's no hope. And I know that everything we do does something. But if we don't do it, then we're lost.
We go through, our everyday lives, and we work, and we think about a lot of things, but just to be able to see the nose cone on a weapon that's being built to wipe out, an entire nation, a weapon that's designed just to kill people. And here I am standing a quarter of a mile from this nose cone, and I'm wondering, we should all be weeping. We should all be crying out in rage. Where is everybody? Why is this still happening? And then I pray harder.
The essence of this drum, the power of this drum, is more powerful than any of the powers, any of the forces that make nuclear weapons. It's more powerful than fear, because this is life. I care deeply about this world and this planet, and I want to see it survive.
In the nuclear age, we see Peace Pagoda as a manifestation of people's pure desire for peace.
We may be the first society to be told we're going to be the last because of our capability of destroying ourselves with nuclear weapons. We're at a very critical time in the history of our people, of our nation, of the world. And that's why I am convinced that the time for action is now.
If we love this planet and love life and want to see a future, one must do everything one can. I committed my life to stopping the Trident, stopping first strike nuclear weapons. One Trident submarine could end the entire world. I feel sadness. Humanity is building these things. My brothers and sisters are going into these places and building weapons designed to kill. The stakes to me are real clear. The world could end. I mean, it's almost inconceivable to think of that as we drive to the post office and we drive to the bank and we pack our kids their lunch and we take them ice skating, and yet at any second it can blow. We've seen what a madman can do. The annihilation of 10 million people has happened. We've got what is going to be, if it ever happens, a crematorium without walls, an Auschwitz without walls. The whole world will be an oven. And so if I believe that, which I do, and I believe that that is the path that we are headed on, then nothing short of putting my body in front of that Auschwitz gas chamber to stop it is sufficient. The highest spiritual moments that I've ever really felt have been when I've done civil disobedience. So for me, doing civil disobedience is definitely an outgrowth of my spiritual practice. I must always pray with my body for what I believe in.
We are walking from here, Concord, Massachusetts, to Washington, D.C. to support Central American Peace Accord. It is very crucial time now. Suffering in Central America is so deep everywhere, particularly in Nicaragua. We are walking because we feel we have to do something. We cannot just watch or listen to the news alone, hearing this crying, scream of those people in Central America.
The act of walking becomes prayer. As we walk, we're blessing the land that we walk upon with our prayer as we go. The steps, the rhythm of the walking is the rhythm of the chant, is the rhythm of the drum. And it just becomes one whole creation.
My name is Jay Stolzberg, and I'm 25 from Santa Cruz, California. Walking is a time to think about what you're doing on this planet and why you've been born at this time. And it gives you a chance to be part of something greater than yourself. It hurts to walk. After a certain amount of miles, it hurts. you're putting out a piece of yourself on the road. You're sacrificing for peace, and it changes you inside, and it strengthens your prayer, and I believe that that changes people that hear that prayer. With the planet bulging under 55,000 nuclear weapons, it's time that people started walking. Walking brings people to you. Walking turns heads. When you say we're walking through 8 states and 550 miles for 30 days with no rest days, people feel that that is a lot of effort, and they wonder why. And then maybe it makes them think.
I am making the statement that I am not going to be complicit in the policies of this government, of my government, which supposedly represents me. And walking, for me, is my way of saying, no, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to stand up for what is right and not be complicit with my silence in the killing that's going on down in Central America. For me, it's just been a deepening experience all the way around. Before, I didn't have any real idea what faith meant. You know, I go to church on Sunday or whatever. But it's so much more than that. It's believing in something strongly enough that I'm willing to put my life on the line for it.
Only 7 weeks after its inauguration, and just 2 weeks after the Washington prayer vigil, a fire of mysterious origin destroyed the newly built temple at the Peace Pagoda. The Peace Pagoda itself was not damaged by the fire.
So now, my struggle is inside is to let go of the pain from this, to let it go, and to rebuild the temple inside of myself. And the Lord Buddha taught that the way of the Buddha requires extreme perseverance, and it sounds easy, the word perseverance, when nothing's challenging you. But when you hit a big challenge, like this is a big challenge to go on. And then you're enabled to learn what perseverance is.
The temple was to allow people a place to come to pray. That doesn't mean the prayer can't be done on the sand piles next to the burned, ruins. If we remember that what isn't here now was here before and will be here again, and that it's just a manifestation of our hearts and our hands, then our spirits will stay really strong. And we just keep practicing Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Just keep drumming and chanting.